Mal de Ojo by V. Castro. My mother said I was a really cute baby that resembled a little orangutan with untamed, spiky strands of red hair and big brown eyes, always looking for food or someone to carry me around. People would stop her on the street or in the supermarket to tell her what a beautiful baby she had. Of course, you must always touch someone or something you admire, otherwise bad things might happen to that person or object. With children, it usually comes in the form of illness. I think I was just over 1 year old when I had a bad case of chicken pox. My mother took me to the doctor, but they dismissed it as another childhood illness that needed to run its course. She waited and waited, but I wasn't getting better. Days and nights were filled with my screams. Nothing would ease my pain or her distress. This had to be the doing of an unseen hand. Finally, my mother decided to seek help. She would have someone perform the ojo ritual. A woman named Olga came to the house with fresh eggs from her backyard and candles. My exhausted mother allowed her to inspect me. "She looks very ill. Let's see what's happening." I lay on our bed fidgeting, trying to pull off the socks tied to my hands to prevent me from scratching my already badly blistered skin raw. To this day, I still have scars. The candle with the Sacred Heart of Jesus was lit. The two women prayed over me while Olga rubbed the egg the length of my body. I forgot about my itchy skin and wanted the egg. I continued to reach for it. My mother went to restrain me, which caused me to shriek so loud it scared both women. I kicked and wailed violently, causing Olga to drop the egg. It splattered upon impact. The yolk was a gooey red mess of blood. My mother and Olga had to cross themselves when they saw that the shape of the contents of the egg resembled a person. Someone wasn't admiring your daughter, they were cursing her. But who would curse us? My mother had been through so much in her young life, becoming pregnant while still a teen, and now a curse on her baby. What would anyone gain by cursing a baby? But there were more pressing matters than a curse by someone unknown. After paying Olga, my mother didn't have much left for food. We would go to the store to get what little we could afford. My mother looked at the amount she owed for the groceries, then scanned the pile for what we could do without. She told the woman to put the bread and butter back. Grandma Carrie always had lard and flour at her house. We would eat tortillas, no need for bread. The cashier gave my mother a repulsed look. "If you didn't have enough, why did you bring this stuff up? Now I have to call a manager. Can't you count? I'm surprised you weren't paying with food stamps." It dawned on my mother that this was the source of the curse. Every time she shopped here, this same woman always gave us a dirty look. "Touch my baby." The woman gave her a disgusted expression. "I'm not touching your baby. I barely want to touch your money." Through gritted teeth, my mother repeated herself. "Touch my baby." She grabbed the woman's hand and ran it across my crusty calamine lotion-spotted arm. Without buying anything, she stormed out of the shop. That night she cried over my crib, praying for this illness to go away and to have the strength to carry on to achieve something in this life. She had dreams, too. The following day the fridge was still empty. She would have to go back and face the woman. But she noticed something as she lay in bed. I wasn't crying. She peered into my crib to see the rash fading and me breathing rhythmically instead of making a ragged whistling sound. When I awoke and drank a full bottle of milk, my first in a week, we returned to the market. The woman was gone. What a relief. At the checkout, a young man wordlessly scanned the groceries. We had just enough without the bread and butter. "What happened to the usual cashier?" my mother asked. "Oh yeah, she called in sick. Thinks she has shingles and it sounds pretty bad." My mother looked at me, smiling and playing with a toy in the shopping cart. We don't know where that woman is or what she is doing, but my mother became an attorney in her 40s, and all her children are happy with college degrees. You can't curse blessings.